They're helping people make safer and more informed decisions when it comes to medical aesthetic treatments. Joining me to talk about Refresh Medical and all of the services that they can provide, I'm happy to welcome in CEO Jay Feinberg, along with the Chief Medical Officer down there, Dr. Christopher Senger. Welcome, gentlemen. How are you today?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm appreciating getting to know Refresh Medical. It's an interesting conversation. Aesthetics are where it's at. Internet has changed where people are able to get products that they use. It seems like that's where your passion comes from, right? You want people to make better decisions, more informed decisions and safer ones. Right, Jay?
Yes, so the med spa boom has transitioned this whole industry. So compliance is important, but I feel like patient safety is more important.
Yeah.
The practices you go to, the treatments you obtain, procedures, prescriptions, visits, medications. Since, regulation hasn't kept up with the industry, it's important for patients to be informed.
And doctor, I'm assuming this is something that you have been able to see firsthand. People sometimes excited about getting something maybe cheaper instead of, if it's the right thing for my individual body, right?
Yeah, I mean, telehealth has expanded exponentially since the COVID pandemic.
Yeah.
And, at first there were some regulations that were more lax to allow for more people to get their health care online.
Yeah.
But now that those restrictions have been lifted, there's still people taking advantage of the fact that you can pretty much get anything online. And there's very little oversight, and I don't think the regulations are being followed very closely. And I think there's a lot of room for new regulations because it's kind of like the Wild West right now.
And let's talk Refresh Medical, because you want it to be different. You want to make sure your products and the things that, again, when you think of a medical spa, my mind tends to go to Botox, to fillers, things like that. You want to make sure you're working with the right candidates. And you were saying getting the products right here in Florida, which is something you're really proud of, right, Jay?
Yes, so all of our wellness programs specifically, the compounding prescriptions we use in them, they come from compounding pharmacies in the state of Florida.
Yeah.
We don't outsource outside of Florida. They're all legit script certified pharmacies. We're a legit script certified provider. So patients can have the assurance that when they do a program and go through a full workup, do their diagnostic evaluations, that the prescriptions the provider recommends are coming from Florida.
And I know those prescriptions aren't written without blood work, too. I want to throw in our conversations, I learned that. Doc, I want to get to what I think of when I think of a medical spa. I do think of the Botox. I do think of the fillers. And, a lot more people have the needles these days. Why is that not a good thing? Why is it important to make sure that people are going to someone like yourself who has the credentials to back up what is getting done?
Well, like with the popularity of medical spas and cosmetic treatments and the expansion into wellness, I mean, the industry has blown up and everyone is doing it.
Yeah.
And when you have a large volume of people entering an industry, obviously you're going to have some unwanted characters. You're going to have people that are unlicensed, not well trained, with poor oversight, not following any regulations. Unfortunately, even though Florida does have a lot of regulatory rules or laws regarding medical spas and those type of procedures that are performed there, unfortunately, there's not much oversight. They're not enforcing those laws. So there's a lot of slippery slopes when it comes to who's doing your injectables, how are they licensed, do they have a proper medical director, et cetera, at those locations. And now with the expansion into the wellness division, we have a lot of more medical-based treatments, and I think those are also loosely handled when you have a patient with more complex medical conditions on numerous medications, et cetera.
Yeah.
Some of those interactions and complexities of medical care are ignored.
Well, and you know what I really appreciate in getting to know you guys, and you were able to talk about why safety first, why you want to keep your patients forefront, their health first when it comes to things like this. So I'm glad you decided to use our platform today. As a matter of fact, we want to share their website if you want to learn more. I know there are a few locations here in the Tampa Bay area alone, refreshmedical.com.